Like and subscribe right now, or this spider will crawl on your face when you're sleeping. Relation between humans and animals is of foes and friends. This bond can be love, kindness, and even fear. But you're going to meet those humans with kind and brave hearts who saved these poor animals, putting their safety aside. Let's get into our episode today of 10 amazing people who saved animal lives. Number 10. Dog Rescue. Dogs are the most faithful pets. There's no doubt about that. The relation between humans and dogs is of love and loyalty, and sometimes humans too have to show their emotions. That's what this incident shows. A dog ventured out on a frozen lake, but it got stuck on a patch of thin ice. The poor dog was unable to walk on ice, and even the hind legs and body were frozen in icy cold water. Its half body was just stuck. It could not move or get free, so it just sat there, waiting to be rescued. Luckily, the rescue team came there to save it. They tried to break the ice so that the pup could be freed from the frozen lake. After putting in some effort for some time, the dog was finally free from that cold, frozen lake. It was covered in blankets to keep it warm. These little acts of kindness warm our hearts.
Before we move on, I've got a little challenge for you that'll take 5 seconds to complete. So here's the deal. You just leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell, and you'll get 25 years of amazing luck. Try it. It really works.
Number 9. Sloth Savior. Sloths are adorable. These slowest animals are always the lowest on energy. Maybe it's their laziness or their cute face that we all feel attracted toward them. Some might even relate to their lazy behavior. Well, this cute incident is also going to melt your heart. In the video, the sloth can be seen crossing the road in Rio de Janeiro at its slowest speed, which is super dangerous. Any unpleasant incident can happen. But then, a guy stumbled upon this sloth and decided to help. The guy can be seen getting out of his car, picking up the sloth, and hurrying across the road. He placed the animal at its home, the tree. The guy waved at the animal to say goodbye, and then the cutest moment happened. As the sloth was placed on the tree, it slowly turned its smiling face around and can be seen lifting its one arm as if waving back to the guy. How adorable! This sloth is literally grateful to that random guy for saving his life. Number 8. Rescuing a drowning sheep. This incident is of random people who were just walking along the path and then saw a sheep who needed their help. A sheep was found struggling and it could nearly drown in the heavy water when some young men witnessed it and decided to rescue the poor lamb. They tried to reach the animal over the edge, but their initial attempts just failed. Then the men decided to do some extraordinary act. One of the young men grabbed his buddy's hand and just jumped into the heavy water. This way he managed to grab a hold of the sheep and then pulled the sheep to safety. If these young men hadn't saved that sheep, it might have just been lost in water somewhere. Number 7. Saving a wounded squirrel. Squirrels are the most adorable and cutest animals. Some people might even disagree, as these little creatures do have a habit of digging up the plants of beautiful gardens, but that's just how they live. You can't just hate them for a living. But other people just love them. Just like this woman here named Brantley Harrison. Back in the year 2009, along with her family, Brantley Harrison found a squirrel in the worst condition. The squirrel had severe wounds as a result of an attack by an owl. Harrison refused to let the squirrel die and took this poor baby inside her home. She named the squirrel Bella. She took care of that squirrel for 5 long months, and finally it was back to normal. But this was the time when Bella should go back to her home in the wild. But surprisingly, that squirrel didn't forget those humble people who rescued her. Even after 8 years, Bella still finds time to come home and visit the family that once helped her recover. That's just a wonderful example of showing gratitude.
I think it's a godsend. I really do. It just makes me happy every day that I see her.
Number 6. Rescuing a baby deer. Baby deer are cute and innocent animals. We hold them with high regard. A boy saved the life of a baby deer who was certainly facing death. The baby deer somehow ended up in floodwater and due to the heavy flow, it was unable to swim to safety and was drowning. But this boy came to the rescue. The boy can be seen in that raging floodwater and saving the baby deer. Despite the situation of a flood, the boy survived. He had to hold his breath underwater so that he could swim to safety. He can be seen holding the deer up high from water with just one hand. Luckily, they both were in safety, and the deer can grow into adulthood, thanks to that brave young boy who put the safety of deer before his own. Number 5. Saving the swan. We all know that swans are notorious for being aggressive and unfriendly. They won't have a second thought about attacking you if you get too close to them. So after knowing this, the idea of a swan showing gratitude sounds odd. But this has happened, and you certainly wouldn't have believed it if it hadn't been recorded on camera. Host of the show Born to Explore, Richard WIESE visited the UK's Abbotsbury Swanery. There he noticed a swan that was injured by flying directly into a chain-link fence. He didn't want the swan to suffer and decided to help the swan to escape his unfortunate predicament. Surprisingly, when he took it into his arms, the swan did not attack him. Years later, when WIESE returned to that swanery and met the same swan, the swan did recognize him and ran to embrace him. That's just so adorable and shocking. Number 4. Puppy Rescue. Firefighters are the ones saving pups and kitties stuck in trees, but here the situation is quite the opposite. Ray Spellmeyer, one of the firefighters, saved a dog from a fire. He just rushed into the building, which was on fire. Anyone can be halted in place by the carnage and wreckage of the blaze of fire and falling debris. But this brave man just went in and pulled out the poodle named Joseph. The video can give you evidence of how brave those firefighters were who rushed into the blaze. The dog was highly affected as a result of that incident, but thanks to the firefighters, it was able to go on and live a healthy and happy life. Number 3. Gratitude of Penguin. How far can you go to show your gratitude to someone who saved you? Whatever be your answer, this penguin here is going to shock you. This baby penguin was saved by João Pierre de Souza, who found this baby on a Brazilian beach covered in oil and near death. Pierre could not allow this penguin to die, so he just took it to his home and helped the baby to recover. Thanks to the kindness of this stranger, the baby penguin made a quick recovery and was released back into the wild. But that's not the end. Every year, that penguin makes a journey of 5,000 miles to meet the man who saved his life. That's just so moving and heartwarming a reunion. And now let us move on to our subscriber pick of the day. This image was sent to us by a subscriber. Similarly, if you ever wish to know more about an image you come across, just send it to us. Who knows, we might even feature it in one of our videos. Number 2. The subscriber's pick. Our subscriber picture today shows 2 stories of animal rescue. The one with the arrow is of the man named Afsar Khan, who lived on the banks of the Swat River in Bahrain. One day, he witnessed a wheelbarrow floating away in the heavy water currents. He stepped in and saved the wheelbarrow that belonged to a local resident. But then he found a little pup there who was in distress. Without a second thought, Officer Khan just jumped into that dangerous water flow and brought that dog over to safety. We need real-life heroes like him. The picture on the right is of a man from India who saved those 3 little kittens from the flood without even thinking about his safety. The man can be seen putting those kittens in a basket over his head so that those babies can be saved from drowning. It's truly said that all heroes don't wear capes. Number 1. Human Chain Rescuing Dog. This video is really going to leave you in surprise. The dog can be seen stuck in the waterway at the dam. It can't move and can just be taken away with the pressure of water. But then comes the brave men to the rescue. A group of Good Samaritans spotted the dog. Initially, one of the brave men fought against the water current and tried to take that dog out of the water, but he failed to take it back up the edge. Then they all made a human chain. Holding each other from arms, all men formed the chain, pulled the dog up, and delivered it to safety. Humans can be amazing in their own way. And that concludes our list of the 10 amazing people who saved animal lives. Which one touched you the most? Comment down below to let us know. Before you go, don't forget to like and subscribe, and click the bell icon to stay up to date with our latest videos. We'll see you next time.